All right, for this one, you're gonna have an incline bench. You're gonna have to adjust this based on how it feels. So the more vertical I have the bench, that's going to be less aggressive. The more horizontal you have it, the more aggressive of a range of motion it's gonna put you into. We're basically going to be working on mobilizing the hip into internal rotation, but we're gonna be doing it by kind of locking out the leg and then moving the pelvis. So we're using the bench to sort of take us to close to end range, but you've got to make sure that's not painful for you. We are working on the hip capsule with this, so it can be uncomfortable. It's going to feel like a lot of pressure in the hip, but if you're getting any pinching, you're going to need to adjust the angle of the bench to kind of offload that. So again, more vertical will be less aggressive versus more horizontal of an angle will be a little more aggressive. So the leg that you're going to be working is going to be the one that's going to go on the bench. So you're going to get kind of your foot in the crease of the bench, and then your knee's going to be supportive here. And then you're going to have to adjust this stance leg. You want to create a little bit of space. So I like to bring this stance leg a little bit back and a little bit out just to kind of open up the pelvis here a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna really try to keep this still now. We've basically already pre-positioned our leg into relative internal rotation. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pelvis on this stance side and I'm gonna rotate it towards this leg that's on the bench, and that's gonna further cinch down that hip joint. And again, this isn't comfortable on the most healthy of hips because we're really grinding into that joint capsule, which is needed to make mobility gains, but it's not a muscle stretch, so it's unpleasant. But if you're feeling like pinching, then we want to back off. So once I kind of find my end point and my pelvis can't rotate anymore because I feel like a block here, I could keep turning through the spine, but that's not what we want. Once I find that block point, I'm going to just hang out for a few breaths. And then I'm going to rotate now all the way away from this leg. So I really get a nice opening here. That will feel a little more muscle stretch. That should kind of feel good. Take that pressure off. Same thing. You're going to hang out for a couple breaths. And then we're going to wind that hip back up. I'm going to take my pelvis on this side. I'm rotating it towards this leg that's on the bench until I feel that block, and I'm hanging out for a few breaths. And then same thing, I'm gonna now rotate my pelvis away from this side until I feel some opening in this hip, and I'm hanging out there.